Dems issue horrifying Trump demand. This is revolting. The Trump-Russia dossier that has floated around for over a year has more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Yet, Democrats continue pushing the false narrative and hoping for a miracle. House Democrats are now trying to prove that President Trump took part in the section of the dossier involving Russian prostitutes, according to the Washington Times. The alleged event reportedly took place at a Moscow Ritz-Carlton back in 2013. House Democrats are now learning that they may have made a horrible mistake. The first attempt to prove the story came last March. Democrats affiliated with the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence pushed their investigation to the breaking point when they interviewed then FBI Director James Comey and Navy Admiral Mike Rogers. They turned up nothing of importance during their probe. That little factor is not stopping them from continuing their investigation, hoping that even alludes to the allegations. Democrats are now calling on President Trump's former bodyguard and aide Keith Schiller. Schiller, a former New York City detective, went with President Trump to Moscow back in 2013, and should have provided the smoking gun testimony if the allegations were true. Schiller attended a closed session and spoke about one night in particular while in Russia. President Trump's former bodyguard said that an individual came up and offered 5 prostitutes to Schiller and Trump, who declined the offer. Afterward, President Trump and Schiller went back to the hotel and up to his room. Schiller noted that he and Donald Trump laughed about the matter. Mr. Trump went into his room alone, while Schiller stood guard outside the room. They both left a little while later. The Democrats argue that since Schiller left, it's unclear whether prostitutes went into Mr. Trump's room afterward. This argument is faulty for many reasons. While admitting they don't know whether or not it happened, they cannot make a logical assumption that it did, indeed, happen. Accusations don't work that way. The Times reports that a source told them, so in the end, the Democrats shot themselves in the foot by leaking this because the final result is a convincing denial of the dossier's most famous and salacious report. The source continued, a huge number of the Democrats' claims are based on the dossier, and the dossier's credibility is in tatters. The dossier in question is indeed in tatters at this point. There is no evidence to prove that anything in the Democrat-funded document is true. Christopher Steele, the author of the dossier, even admitted that the dossier includes unverified claims, and that the memos about Trump were never intended for public release. Democrats are looking for any way that they possibly can to demonize President Trump. They know that he is doing good things for the country and they have no other means to tear him down, so they cling to this dossier as a last resort to somehow get rid of him. Their resources are running dry, and sooner or later they will have to face the truth. Dems issue horrifying Trump demand. This is revolting. The Trump-Russia dossier that has floated around for over a year has more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Yet, Democrats continue pushing the false narrative and hoping